will last forever. Together forever. This will last forever. Joined together when God is joined together. Nothing or no one can put asunder. This will last forever. Together forever. This will last forever. Joined together when God is joined together. Nothing or no one can put asunder. This will last forever. Together forever. This will last forever. Joined together when God is joined together. Nothing or no one can put asunder.
So, hello everyone, and welcome to another episode of Marriage and Ministry. Listen, you know the show. It's about really encouraging those who are married to see marriage as ministry, but also giving a platform to couples to tell their story of how they are enduring, they're going along, and how God has been glorified. I know without a shadow of a doubt that my guest today, you will be encouraged by their story. Not because they're so great, but it is going to be evident how God's hand is moving on their life.
Yes.
So look, I know you're looking. Go ahead and share, like, comment, invite somebody else to be encouraged along with you. And in the comment section, help me welcome Dayvon and Danielle Allen. Yay!
Where the camera? What camera we at? Where we at? Right here?
So listen, so you're there.
Hey, y'all.
And so Danielle and I and Dayvon, we go way back.
Yes.
Like, how many? We were trying to calculate before they started the cameras.
I would say 2009.
2009.
Yeah. We didn't have a son then.
Yeah.
Y'all did not
Wasn't
have
thinking
Chris.
about no kids.
End of 2008,
we
actually.
No children.
End of 2008, because it was December-ish.
Yep. And you had babies.
I had babies. I had one.
Babies.
Yeah.
Yep. Mm-hmm.
And now have 3.
Yep.
And y'all have Prince Quest.
Yes.
So a lot has just transpired. It has just been a wonderful journey.
Yes.
We haven't engaged in a long time, but it didn't seem like that. Like once we connected, we just picked up
That's
where we
how
left
it
off.
is. Yep.
And I really think I'm gonna jump on in. I really think that is how the Lord is using kingdom connections in this day and time.
Sure.
Just to really preserve us,
Yes.
but to also push us. And so, how long have y'all been married? Because y'all had just got married when?
We got married in 2007. So
Right.
it's been over 16 years now.
Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah.
Yep.
But
And-
I count my faithful years. So,
Yeah.
I mean, though we wasn't married,
Right.
we weren't married, but we were almost 20 years now.
Yeah. Meant like
so
2000.
that was before I knew Christ and to get married, but I was a committed man and it's been over,
Yep.
like we pretty much grew up together.
Yes.
Mid-20s, so.
Wow. And so y'all reside in Clayton, the Raleigh-Clayton area.
Yeah.
But y'all are not from here.
No.
Where y'all are from?
I'm from the Bronx, New York, originally.
And I'm from Pittsburgh, Pennsylvania.
Okay.
Lived everywhere though. Philly. I lived in Baltimore at one point. New York, but originally born and raised Pittsburgh,
Okay.
Pennsylvania.
So when, where, and how did y'all meet? Like, how did the story begin?
Go ahead. Yeah, you
So
start.
we met online. This is an online love, computer love.
Yeah,
Yes.
before it was a thing,
Yeah.
before it was, before you made money, it was, I think, like Yahoo Chat and Black Planet.
Black Planet. That was it. I don't know who remembers Black Planet, but
I
that was
remember
like
Black
before.
Planet. I don't want to date us.
Yeah.
Look, I ain't
Don't be trying
scared.
to guess how old we are.
Look, I
But I remember
earned
Black Planet.
these grays. Gray hair is the glory of the king. Come on.
So-
MySpace and all that stuff. So.
But and now, and you, like you said, it's a popular thing. It's like the in thing now. But before it was the in thing, would you just jumped on her screen? Like, how did
Nah,
you
but
meet though?
here's the crazy thing, Steph. Back in those times, it was like it was almost like a screening process because one, you had to make sure this person ain't crazy, but you had to speak with them regularly too. So you kind of, it was almost like an extension of speaking on the phone. Back then we used to like speak on the phone. It wasn't texting. You had to speak with somebody. You had to, if they can hold a conversation, and you know, after 2 or 3 months of, okay, on this person's cool, they can hold a conversation. I've learned so much about them. It was easy to transition versus now where you just swipe left, swipe right. So I'm actually happy about that process of online dating at that time because it was a screening process to get to know somebody, and like if they can't hold a conversation, I don't want to be with this person. So
Yep. So he happened to be in New York doing music, and so I was already from New York. So that we met on the what did I say was
Black
Planet. And after talking for a while, we just like, hey, let's meet up. And so we met up, and then it's been like history.
Yeah, it
was so natural.
It felt like in those 3 months, 5 months that we were talking, it felt like we knew each other for 3 years. And I don't know if that was how you felt, but when you meet your person, it feels like y'all knew each other way longer.
Right. Yeah.
You know what I mean? Like, dang, where you? Like, I feel like I know you. I feel like we've been together for 5 years. It's only been 5 months, and that's what it's been like since.
Since
like,
then.
Yeah.
And you talked about that connection was BC, like before you. That was before you Christ.
Yes.
But it was still the element of
absolutely
God ordained.
Yes.
You know, things you can't explain. Like you're talking about. You feel like we just knew each other.
Yeah. I mean, it was for us being unsaved people. It was like, you know, doing the best. We was doing the best that we knew how to do at that level. So for us, it was like, I was always told, oh, you need to be in a monogamous relationship, whatever. So we were that. Like we was together, you know. And so when you know better, you do better. And so as we move forward, I'll just go into like how we got saved. We worked at the same company, and a guy that worked there that we both worked with, actually, he kept like ministering to us, like, y'all are gonna be this with, man, I could see
was prophesying. He was speaking all kind of life.
It was ridiculous. And I'm just like, oh my gosh, what is wrong with this guy? Why don't he go sit down? You know? But he was so like adamant about this, and he would go talk to Dayvon, and then he would come downstairs, go upstairs and talk to me about it, and
yeah, he was fishing. He was a fisher of men, and
we didn't know.
We didn't know.
So do y'all still, before you move on with the rest of the story?
Yeah.
Because do y'all still have a connection with him?
Kinda.
But does he see what he said?
Yes, he did. He saw
did.
the fruit of his labor.
Wow.
I was reaching out to him, and I was just trying. I wanted to tell him so bad, like, what he did was it changed the whole trajectory of our life. Like, literally changed everything for us. You know, just being people that didn't know nothing about this, and to have somebody keep pouring into you like that, and then it just created like this hunger and a thirst for us to know what this is. So when we come and move down to North Carolina, that was like the first thing on the agenda was like, we need to find a church. We're gonna find somewhere to go.
Right.
Yeah.
And when we did, you know, we ended up getting, you know, baptized together and saved, all of that together. And it was just a beautiful thing, you know. And then fast forward to now, it's just like, what in the world is girl, you know, and guy from the projects, like, you don't
Straight
know
out
nothing
the hood.
about nothing.
Straight out the
and,
hood,
you know, you just, it's crazy to me. I still be like, what in the world? How'd I get here?
So I want to pause here. If you are listening, which I know you are, and I know you're like, already you're tuned in. This is just evident of the importance of speaking what you see.
Yes.
The Lord, especially those of us who are mature in faith, you hear from God, you seek God of how you can be intentional on your daily route to demonstrate Him, to illustrate His working. If the Lord has pointed you to someone, keep speaking into their life. Keep pursuing them. Yeah. Because when you said, I wish he would go sit down.
Yes.
I'm glad he didn't go sit down.
We are too.
We are too.
We are too.
Yes.
Yeah.
Because listen, we've been on each other a long time.
Yep.
And we knew from day one that you were from up north. You know,
How can you miss it? Coffee, salt,
coffee.
sauce.
That's what it is. It's just what
So
it is.
I can imagine the disposition, you know,
Yes.
and the whole dude,
Yes.
chill.
Yes.
But
yes.
he kept, you know what I'm saying?
He did.
I love that. I didn't know that part of y'all story.
Yep, he
Yeah.
did.
He
He
kept
put my
going.
first Bible and everything, had my name engraved and everything. Just,
Wow.
I mean, amazing.
Wow.
Yeah, and specifically from a man's perspective, like to whoever is listening, like as you minister men to men, just consistency.
Yeah.
Consistency, showing up when you say you're going to show up, being a man of your word, and actually like being yourself.
Yeah.
That's how
Look
you
into that camera and say that.
Yeah, men, if you're trying to win souls and you are, you see somebody that God is highlighting to you, please, like, be yourself. You don't have to, you know, if you feel like this person from the hood, you don't have to be extra hood.
Yeah.
If you're from the
Please.
suburbs, don't be extra suburb. If you country, be country. Long story short, be yourself as you minister to people, because that consistency and your love in Jesus is what's going to win them over.
Wow.
So I don't know. We tend, especially like believers, we tend to think we got to have like performance-based ministry. Like, be yourself. That's what's going to win people over. You know, the consistency and the genuineness of who you are is
Right.
going to win people over. And that's who Alan was for me. Like,
Yes.
Alan, the guy who saved us. It was like
His first name was
his
Alan.
name was Alan.
Yes.
Your last name Alan.
Alan.
Yeah,
Yeah.
and then his last name is Jermaine, and
Which
we
is your
named our
grandmother's.
quest. His middle name is Jermaine,
Wow.
and it's Alan Jermaine.
Yes.
You know, so it's
So
crazy.
just
We
a
honored
nod
him.
to
Yeah.
yes, that is awesome. So you're in North Carolina. You've moved from. What brought y'all from New York to North Carolina?
Gosh, what was that? Probably about 23, and I just was really just a little bit tired of the hustle and bustle.
Wow.
And him and I were on the train, and standing
That's the
up like
subway
this,
for
the
people who
subway,
don't know.
and
Yeah.
it's just like we riding to work, and I just bust out crying. And I'm just like, I can't take it no more. I can't do this no more. I'm done. Like, I can't do this no more. Like, I can't. And he's like, what's wrong with you? I was just like, I can't. And so, we then start like exploring other places. And trying to find. So first we were trying to move to Virginia. That didn't work out. It was all kind of blockages there. And then, my godmother was like, oh, they have, at the time I was thinking about veterinarian school. And he was like, she was like, yeah, they have a whole bunch of schools there. Maybe you can go there. So we started looking there. My dad also was looking in North Carolina. And Dayvon was like, well, let's just go look. And I was like, I'm not moving to North Carolina. Well,
God had different
I
plans.
saw a job. So I applied for the job, and the guy was like, yeah, come on down. Would love to meet you. So we booked a 3-day trip down here. And in those 3 days, I got the job.
Something about them 3 days.
I got the job. We bought a new car, and we signed a lease.
In 3 days.
In 3 days.
So things that we were trying to do, I'm a bullet point talker.
Yeah.
So the city life was ridiculous. It was stressful. It was something that we didn't want. There's no peace there. We're looking for places. We wanted to move to Virginia, and literally like doors were, and which is part of my story, is when God says no, it's just as important as his yes. I really believe that when God shuts something down, he has something better for you. So he literally shut it down. You can't go to Virginia. Virginia ain't it. It's not going to happen. And in 3 months, the same things we were trying to do in Virginia, in 3 days, it happens in North Carolina.
Yeah.
Wow.
It was crazy.
So did y'all go back to New York, or you just stayed?
We went back to New York. We put in our resignation. And we were here the following week. And it was wild because that was really a pivotal moment for Dayvon and I, because we didn't really have anybody but us.
Yeah.
So it really
Forces you,
fused us together.
Yeah.
Right.
Excuse me. Because it was just us, and we really just created such a supernatural bond. We didn't know that was happening, and we didn't know that was all God's design, but we didn't have different things in our ear,
Right.
whoever, friend, nobody. It
Friends,
was just
family,
really
yeah.
us, and we had to figure it out. And that was just the beautiful part about it, just figuring it out together. And like I said, I told you we got saved together. I think that's the year after we got saved, and then got married the following year. So, I mean.
So the 3-day process, like the Lord just expediting his move.
Yes.
That was indication number 1. He was planning on North Carolina. What was indication number 2? Like, yes, this is where we need to be. Do y'all remember saying? Because New York and North Carolina, those are two different atmospheres.
Absolutely.
It is. I think I was just so done with the lifestyle, and I guess I felt like that was the ceiling. Like I was already at the cap of what I was going to do there. It was just time to go, and you know, coming down there and just seeing. Well, I think when we first landed, we were just like, oh my gosh, look at the trees, look at how green everything is, the landscape. And we went to Morrisville first. That's where we landed. And we were just like, oh my gosh, it's beautiful here. Like, this is it. Like, this is it. And so we were just so excited. We had our little wonderful first apartment on the golf course. And it was just so nice. And so, you know, it just was it. Yeah. We knew this was it.
Yeah, that's what I was gonna say, is that you can sense in people and the atmosphere that this is where you need to be, right? You know, when you go somewhere, you start feeling your little spider senses. You're like, uh-oh, this ain't where I need to be.
Right.
It was the opposite for us in North Carolina. It was like, okay, literally felt like I can breathe. Like I can breathe. I have space. I have people say hello. You know, all the little things you take for granted. At that time in the South, that's what it felt like. So it was like, I think it's time to, it wasn't hard to acclimate. It was easy because that's what you wanted, right?
Yeah, it was a little difficult for me though, like, because it happened so fast. 1 minute we were in New York, and the next minute, like the next week, we were moved already. And so my mother helped move me down, with my other girlfriend helped move also. But then the day that they was pulling out, it was just, that's when it hit me. And she's like, well, bye, I'll see you. And I'm just like, oh my gosh, where are you going? What's happening? This is too much.
You know what? That's crazy. I didn't know that part.
Yeah, I did. Yes.
Because I left at 18, I was gone. Like, right after high school, I was playing basketball. I was used to traveling. I was used to living on my own, where that was hard for you.
Yeah, because when they drove off, I was just like, wow, that's it. Like, they're hours and hours away, and it's just me and him, and that's it. Like, no more, oh, we'll just go to mom's on Sunday, we'll go. There's none of that. And so it really just made us grow up, you know. And then when
I'm learning something, Steph.
and also the other piece about it that was really significant for me was when I got here, it was very important for me to, like, it was almost like a baptism for my own self. It was like I wanted to die to the old person, because I was not the most nicest person. I mean, just living in New York, just kind of, you can't just be sitting on the train looking like, hi, like, you know, you have to, you build up a little bit of, you know what I'm saying? And so,
tough skin.
And so I kind of wanted to have a whole nother different life. I'm like, nobody knows me here. I want to be better.
Wow.
And that was what it was. And I literally I cut all my hair off when I first I did a lot of things that was
natural
just,
and everything. You did.
And just because I just wanted to be somebody. I was like, I know I'm somebody else. I don't know what that is, but we're going to find out.
Right.
And, you know, just the transition of how what God did for me just personally is just amazing, because I would not.
Yeah. And I want to, you know, I'm gleaning as I go. And I just want to encourage someone, don't be afraid to take the risk.
Oh, absolutely.
Like, I feel like there's someone watching that the Lord has presented them with something that seems risky. It seems risky, and you've been trying to muster up the courage to take that risk, but you have talked yourself out of it. I want to reignite that voice, that fire, that
Courage.
stirring in you.
Absolutely.
To say, take the risk.
Yeah.
I mean, you're gonna fall where the Lord will have you fall, and what you can experience in a matter of days is probably what you've been holding back for months.
Yes.
Like you've been holding back for months, but the Lord just wants to do this in days.
Yeah, absolutely.
Yep.
So
Don't get me
that's what I
started.
learned
We-
from you all.
Listen, we can have church right now.
We can have, listen. I've been telling them
That's the truth.
to, and I
We can
meant
have
to say,
church
listen,
right now.
I'm gonna start bringing my phone up here and playing my own shout track because I've been telling
Right.
we need to cue a
Man,
shout track
ma'am.
because when you just really start, that's why I think we need to tell our stories more.
Yeah, absolutely.
That's all I got,
even
Steph.
that's all I got.
That's all I got.
All
That's
I
my
got for
story.
you. That's all I got. And even Dayvon was like, "Wow, I didn't know that part." And so, understanding the courage that you really like, it was 23 years old, come from New York,
Yeah.
North Carolina. That's courageous.
Yeah.
But mama leaving, best friend leaving,
Yep.
clinging
Yep.
to this man I met on Black Planet, praying that he is who I've known him to
Yep.
be. And just to see what, let's just see
We're
what's
gonna
gonna
see
happen.
what's gonna happen. That's it.
And this is what has
This
happened.
is what happened. This is what happened.
16, 17 years later, the Lord has done marvelous. As the grandma would say, marvelous
Yes.
things. Marvelous things.
Yes, honestly.
So we're gonna fast forward, and
Come on.
I know the parts of your story are gonna come out some more because, like you said, that's all we have.
Yes, that's it.
That's all we have.
all I got.
And when our story brings him glory, that's how he illuminates.
Yes.
And just continue to add to the story.
Yes.
So you all are pastors. Dayvon, you do ministry full time. You do ministry full time, but you also work
then some.
full time. And then some. And you also work in corporate America, in the pharmaceutical.
Yes.
Full time.
Yes, I do.
Did you? I know you had a hunger for God on the train. You knew there was more. You wanted more. But did you see this though?
No, I scratch my head still now, just thinking about what the other way would have looked like, because it really is a supernatural thing, honestly, what he did, and just putting us two together and really just changing the whole path of our lineage. It's just completely changed now.
Wow.
For the better. You know, we're raising a young man up in the Lord, and to believe the standards and statutes of God. That's what we're doing. But obviously we weren't raised that way. We had great households. I'm not saying that, but we weren't raised that way. And so we definitely have made some different some changes. We sat down before Quest was even born and kind of talked about traditions and things that we probably used to do, and is this something that we should continue with who's coming next, our children? And we decided, no, not a lot of things that we're going to continue. Yeah, we did trick-or-treating. We did all that. We don't do that at our house. We don't do Tooth Fairy. We don't do Santa Claus. We don't do Easter Bunny. We're just not doing all of that. We celebrate the real reason.
Yes.
And so we just we had to kind of explain that to some of our family members and stuff, and they get it now. But at first it was like, what in the world is going on over there?
Right.
But what are they doing and
What cult
why?
they in?
What is going on? But they completely understand now, and I'm so happy for their support and understanding of how we do things at the Allen house. But it's just so beautiful what he's shown us, and how we have been implementing the things that he's shown us, and how things are so much better with him versus how we used to do things.
Right.
And for me, I mean, as you asked that question, I kind of get emotional because we wasn't supposed to be who we are.
Wow.
The statistics, I mean, we can go on and on about, not having a father figure in my life and raised, around crime and drugs and violence and you know, the odds are so stacked against you, right? And just something you almost know, and I'm sure there's people even watching now, like they're you know how you had a black sheep of your family? You got that one, right? You got that one that there's something different about them.
Right.
You know, they do well in school, or they just, you know, they the one that everybody gets to dance at the family cookout. It's just something about them.
Right.
And I always felt that. I always felt like, man, I'm different. And it was almost like early on I had a healthy accountability. Like, Dayvon, you got to be the different one. You got to be the first one to graduate. You got to be the first one to go to high school. But it was just so me. I love my family, but the standard was set so low, you know.
Right.
But God sets some different kind of standards.
Yeah. Right.
And I think of Patti LaBelle, If Only You Knew. Like, I'm just like, God, it got to be more than this. It got to be more than the city. It got to be more than my block. It got to be more than getting a job where you wear a tie.
Wow.
That was like one of my
Goals.
low goals. It was like, if you get a job that you wear a tie, you doing good.
Right. Right.
And you know, here we go. If only you knew. And to answer your question, it's like, just when you thought, like, wow, I own a car. Wow, I got a girlfriend. Wow, I'm married. Wow, we went to Jamaica. Wow, and it's just like, wow, we found a church home. Wow, I'm getting to know the Lord. I know what this book of Matthew is about now. And before you know it, you're just going glory to glory.
Yes.
And you know, just to encourage people is like, when you see the little bit that God does, that should open up your faith. Like, that should be the assurance that, hey, he did it before.
Yeah.
He's doing it now. He will continue to do it. So as you said, like, take a chance because he's done it before. Why wouldn't he do it again?
Yeah.
So yeah, we never came to God out of like lack. But,
Oh, wow.
So you know what I'm saying? Like, some people get saved, or some people come out of like they got to hit the bottom. We weren't at the bottom. We were like, yo, we owe something or someone to keep us out of the misery and the darkness and the shame and the turmoil and the family generational curses that we see all around us. Why not us?
Right.
But then God asks us the question, why not us? It's the same question.
It's the same question.
Why not you?
Yeah.
So that's
Somebody was praying,
yes,
child.
See, I need my
That's where we
shot
at.
track again.
honey.
Somebody was
Somebody,
praying.
child.
Right.
that sound like a
Okay.
T-shirt.
Somebody was praying.
Somebody.
Somebody was
And
praying.
you knew, and that is, and I think about Romans 8 and 32, how it reminds us that Jesus intercedes for us. And so not everybody has the testimony that I had a praying grandma.
Yep,
Not
that's
everybody has the testimony that I had a praying mama.
Yep.
Not everybody has the testimony that I grew up in church.
Yeah.
But when because in Ecclesiastes it reminds us there is something in us that points us to God. And when we yield to that and we accept him as our Lord and Savior, you have a Savior that's interceding on your
Listen,
behalf.
amen.
Somebody
Come on now.
was praying for me, and somebody is praying for me. And when we think about that, like Devon said, it just really brings you, it just makes you emotional because you have somebody praying for you and the Lord preserving you, but you also have somebody praying on you.
Yes.
He wants your story to be the other way. And
Yes.
it's like Jesus was like,
T-R-E-Y.
nope,
Yes.
he snatched you.
Literally.
No,
Literally.
he my son, he my daughter, right? And then when you let the Father carry you,
Yes.
that's what I see with y'all. It's like you're letting the Father carry you. We're not trying to tell you what to do. We're not trying to tell it. We're allowing you to orchestrate our steps, and you land right where He wants you to be.
Yep. That's why I said the story is all we have.
That's all you have.
That's what carries us.
Steph, you kind of look.
The story is all.
I'll be running in this room. I've been trying to take me a
But
lap.
that is so good. Listen, y'all. Okay. Our time is up.
Okay.
But we are, listen, I know y'all on the edge of y'all seat. I know y'all are saying, Stephanie, you cannot end it right now. But I have to honor our time limit. But our next episode, Dayvon and Danielle, they're going to come back and we're going to hear more of the story. And we are going to see and hear what God is doing because the Lord just birthed something in the atmosphere through them that I know. So next episode, so we come on first and third Fridays. The next episode, grab your boo, grab your best friend, share it, because what the Lord has birthed through them, it is going to be valuable for you who listening. For you who are listening, the ministry that they are going forth with, it's a game changer. It's a game changer. And so I'm excited to hear more about that and how we here on Marriage and Ministry and as your sister in Christ can just really surround and support you in what God is doing. So like, share, comment, listen to the replay and come back to our next episode because they're going to still be with us. Thank you.
Together. No.